Good morning and sliding in the afternoon. Judy Allan, also known as Nana, here in San Antonio with sunshine and smiles. Whoop whoop. Even though it's a cloudy day and rainy looking here with a 50-degree temperature. So, still all about sunshine and smiles. So we're going to go down the hand. We're creating an alternative from the February Paper Pumpkin Kit, and it's totally fun. So let's do it. Let's go down the hands and let's make that alternative. Because in the end, all these cards are going to end up going to the children in the hospital. Boop, boop, bring them some sunshine and smiles. So this is in the kit. And I'm going to use this one, but we're going to make our alternative, right? So I'm going to take this here, and I'm going to actually just go ahead and use my tape runner. Because if you looked at the original that we made on the last Sunday of February, you will see that this is an altered version of what this card was made. And I'll show it to you maybe afterwards. It's been a fun kit. I've done a class with it already and made many more with the coordinating Rain or Shine kit. Alright, so we're just adding this here to alter this, the rainbow here. It's still going to be a rainbow, right? If I need to trim the side, I will. So, the thing that we're going to add here is, I talked about us doing some fussy cutting. This was a leftover from last week, and I'm just going to put it right up here with a dimensional. And I have plenty of stuff left over the kit, so you have to remember that when I sit there and do all these alternatives, I have two kits, right? Because I do live, and then I do an alternative every week until the new kits come out, and we do it live, Zoe and Nana. So I'm just going to put a dimensional there, and we're going to put the sun up there, right? So I fussy cut that. That's left over from last week, alright? So just FYI. So I went ahead and I stamped out some frogs here so I can show you two different techniques. One is we're going to use the blender tool to color the frog. And the way that we're going to do this is we're just going to take a block like this here and we're going to put some ink on it. And you can see the ink right there if I do it at an angle. Okay? So all that we're going to do is I'm going to take this blending pen tool and we're going to use it to color the frog. Actually, I have some left over because I had done some earlier. Alright, so this is all we're doing. And we're coloring it. This cute little frog is in this kit. And it's just easy to create as many frogs as you want. Any color you want, right? Because we've seen the frogs in the Amazon. Granted, they're poisonous, but that's okay. They are beautiful. So you could have a blue frog, a very dark blue frog. You could have an orange frog, you could have a red frog, it doesn't matter. Okay, so when I use the blending tool like this, I at least come and make sure there's no color left before I introduce another color. Now this is left over from earlier. I got a yellow color here. I don't know if it was like the light color, if it was the Mango Melody, but I got it right there, okay? So there you go. So that's how you can use a blending tool. Again, just make sure that's all the colors off there. And then I'll clean my block up a layer. And therefore, we've got a colored frog. Now, I've already done and fussy cut two other frogs, but I just want to show you here. Fussy cutting is nothing more than going around. Now, it is up to you. Some people like to cut all the way to that black line of where we've stamped, where I stamped the frog. I'm just going to come around here because I don't like dealing with all the paper. But it's totally up to you. I like to cut around and leave it a little bit of white, right? Because it just makes it pop out a little bit on the darker backgrounds or any background, really. But the main thing I like to do is make sure every cut I make is rounded. Technically, you really most probably shouldn't lift your scissors up. You should just keep the flow going, but sometimes I just can't. And that's alright, right? We all create differently. We all have our limits. I know what my limit is, and I don't like a big block of paper right there in front of me to cut. So I size it down. So that's all we do, right? This is fussy cutting. It's just an easy way to stamp. In this particular case, I've used up all my frogs in my first kit, but that's why we have a stamp, right? So we can go and create more frogs, create more cue cards, and we can color them any way we want, right? That is so right. And you could easily, if you didn't want to color like we did here, it would be easy to stamp this on a, right? I could have stamped this on green cardstock just as well, and it would have all been green. So here's one of the frogs here. And I'm going to get you the other one I got here. Get this one nice and yellow. So I figured it's up really good. And then I'm going to put the turtle right here. Now I'm not going to put the turtle on yet because I've already stamped my kite. If you want to know how I got this color, I'm going to put this here so you can see. Okay? I got that color here by what we call stamping off. And I'll show you by using the frog. Really need something more solid. Let me get the kite and I'll show you. So the stamping off, I could have done it with a frog, but you're not going to see it as well as if I used the kite. Yes, I'm going to use the same block I had the frog on. And I'm just going to flip it over for you. But I just want to show you how just what we call a stamp off. And that is nothing more than you have stamped it the first time. And then we stamp it a second time. And there's the color you get. And it is not unusual for me to like the stamped color. And that's what I've got right there. That is the stamped off color. So just another way that you can make it seem like you've got a lot more colors. Or give you more color opportunities, right? Besides just what you see in there right here. So I'm going to put the kite up here. And I'm just going to put a little adhesive on the back of it to get it to stick. I could use liquid glue, but I'm just going to use that. I could have used a liquid dot that they had in the kit, but I didn't. Might have been better. Alright, all I'm going to do is pull this string right down here, and I am going to use one of the glue dots from the kit, because they're nice and they're low. And then I'll put the turtle right over it. So it looks like the turtle is really just hanging on to that kite. Now the nice thing is these are already pre-die cut, right? So I didn't have to die cut the oval shape here in the middle. But whenever I glue down something, or like what I'm doing with this kite, I have to remember that it's going to have to come over the oval shape because, we'll just trim it off, because the card's got to open up, right? So we get that off there. Alright, let me get that right there. That's just my kite loose, right? Okay, I put the string out. That's just leftover string. I always tell you to hold on to previous kits, right? So I'm going to turn around and I'm just going to put this turtle on with a dimensional. Just like that. So it looks like he's the one holding on to the kite. And then I'm actually going to put one frog out here and leave one frog in. Okay? So with this frog, again, I can sit there and put it on dimensional. Just gives a little height and depth, right? So I'm going to put one frog here on the outside and leave one on the inside. And so I'm going to move it so I can see it a little bit better because the string's in the way, right? So we just got friends hanging out together, watching the kite fly. Now I have this is on the inside of the card, but it's okay. Again, I'm just going to use one of the glue dots that came in the kit, just to show you. To show you got one stuck to me. Actually, is what I'm really going to show you, I think. Alright, there's one. And we'll put the other one on here. So yes, you want to be sure today to be sure to share, comments, and share it on YouTube, the video here on YouTube or Facebook, because next Friday is Freebie Friday. And we're just going to pull from the ones that you sat there and shared it, and you mark the word shared. So there we go. So the only thing we're missing is our sentiment, right? And a cloud. I did want to put a cloud here, maybe a couple of flowers. So I'm just going to put the cloud up there, again with the glue dots. I'm not sure we're going to be using any more dimensionals. But we're going to definitely use some glue dots. So, because the cloud is crossing over, we want to be sure that our adhesive is just at the top where it's going to adhere. The bottom part of it, right, is going to be over the opening here. So, we just want to make sure the glue dots are at the top and see how we got the depth there? And that's what you want. And so now the only other thing is we're going to add some flowers. So, if you didn't watch last week, we're going to do some of the similar type things. We're going to sit up here and we're going to alter the flowers a little bit. And what I mean by altering flowers is that the flowers came in long pieces, just like this one here, and this one here. And so what we're done is we're going to cut them apart. So this is where it's also fun, you know, you create your alternatives that you can do whatever you want to do. And you can just make subtle changes just by doing something simple like that. So I'm just going to put these right here next to this frog. And then I have these extra little flowers here. Let's see how it's going to look. Oh yeah. So, and then we'll just cut a little bit more. So this one's fine right here because I'm just going to put them in the background. And then I might put a couple more. And it's just easy. It's just easy to sit there and alter things the way you want them. Yeah, so if you're out there, be sure to say hello. I always enjoy it when you can say hello. Alright, so we're just going to stick it back here. I'm just sticking it behind this frog here. It doesn't matter because when I open it, right, it's going to be right there. So when I open this, you're going to see I have flowers here with a frog, and I have it here as well too. Now we could add a couple more flowers. If we did, let's see what we can add here. I would add these little ones right here. And all we're going to do, I think I'm going to take them right from the middle. Because it'll be pink. And I just sort of give it a little bit of curve, like it's got a texture to it there. Versus just straight, flat cut. Because even the top part of this is on the wavy side, right? So I'm just sort of doing the same thing. And if I do accidentally have some sharp edges, I just curve it a little bit, right? So it's just not any pointy, sharp edges looking there. Okay. So here, I'm just going to sit here and put some right here. Now, if I do it here, I want to be sure just to put the glue dot on the left because the right flower is going to hang over, right? So, I'm just going to do that. We'll take that off. And then we're going to stamp our sentiment and we're going to be through. So see here, we're just letting everything cross over a little bit. It gives a little depth, creates a nice little picture. And then we're going to stamp our sentiment. So the sentiment I have that I wanted to dig, I think I've done most of them, or tried to do most of them. It says here, you brighten my day. You brighten my day. So even though I might not know somebody in the hospital, specifically the children's hospital, it doesn't matter. Just a thought, oops, just the thought that I'm sending them a card brightens my day. Because I'm hoping to touch their life and brighten their day. So that brightens my day too, knowing that I'm making and creating for somebody else to hopefully bring a smile to their face. An unexpected smile, right? Because they're not expecting this card. I don't know who it goes to, right? I just send them, and they get dispersed. So I'm just going to put this down here, right? I can center it or not. I'm going to go ahead and center it, or I can do it just a little bit to the left. So I make sure to get my frog in there. And again, I'm just going to use these glue dots that came in the kit. So the kits are, I love it because they're easy and fun to carry with you. And I love this one here because it's got such cute little things. Cute, cute, cute. So, we have used, so we've done some stamping. We have done some fussy cutting. And we have used a blender pen, right? To sit there and create our own color of frogs. So if you save your ink spots from each kit, you end up with a bunch of them. So look at that. That's to sit there and hopefully bring a smile and cheer someone up today. So this was stamped in fussy cut. This was stamped with a second stamp off. This was colored in fussy cut with a blending tool. Same thing here. This is colored and stamped with a blending tool. And then we set up here and cut the flowers apart so that we could have a totally different look. And if we want to add some bling here to get some beautiful bling, we can easily add bling. Bling is easy to use. We just add some here and there. We just usually add odd numbers, right? And I'm going to actually put another one back in here too. Okay, so if you want to see how it's going to look, here's what the front of the card looks like. It's already got a hole in it, and when you open it up, this is what it's going to have. And you can put your message right down here, or if you want to, you can sit up there and write something on back here as well too. Either or. I always just tell people, if you're going to write a message, then just write your message right down here at the top. That's going to be hidden, right? So they open up, there's their message. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed that. Right? It was just very simple and easy to make, just straight from the kit. So remember, what did we do today? We sat there and we fussy cut. We use a blending pen to sit there and use ink off of our block to sit there and color in the frogs when we fussy cut them and all. We use a stamp off, right, for this kite to get a second color. Let's see what else we did. And we cut up those flowers so that we could sit there and spread them out. So I hope you enjoyed that. Be sure to share and type in the content that you shared so that you'll be entered into the drawing for next Friday for Freebie Friday. Doesn't matter if you do it here or on YouTube. The main thing is that you share, and you share the video, and you sit there and type the word shared so you are in the drawing. All right, look forward to seeing you next week on Teach Me Nana. And don't forget, it's all about creating, sharing, and giving. Have a blessed week, and look forward to seeing you next week. Bye.